Welcome to another video on my ESP32, Internet of Things and many other possibilities of this little chip with quite a lot of wires that I have attached to it. LED, buzzer, sensor segment display, actually 7 LEDs, event microphone, LDR, light dependent resistor, 2 motors, phase technique and servo motor, both working with pulse modulation and an LCD. The last function that I wanted to test is Wi-Fi, and that doesn't go as smooth as I had hoped. Moreover, the device went completely berserk until I find out that one of the reasons was the Wi-Fi. And last time I also found out it was a matter of power to the Wi-Fi. So how do I have to solve that? Because other people have solved it. Now it turns out that I am constantly using this cable, USB cable, as interface to the ESP32. Power and data. So how else can I do it? Well, reading the documentation quite thoroughly, it turns out that the pins that I had already noticed, 3.3 volts on this side, 5 volts here, and ground, and yet another ground somewhere here, are for powering as well. Then some ports also being well equipped for another way of data availability, data stream connectivity, makes that this cable could go. The only problem is these breadboards are not equipped yet for applying power via these pins. So that is a problem. Yes, it is 5 volts. Yes, I have somewhere a nice 5 volts power adapter, but that requires a very different pin out, very different connector. And then I can, from the 5 volts line here, if applied to 5 volts, connect it to the 5 volts here, ground to ground, which I think already have somehow, and then I could do it. But like I said, not in this configuration. Apart from that, Wi-Fi requires a lot of current. So with that different power setup, I could also put a recommended 10 microfarad capacitor between input and output, or V in and ground, and have enough power. So that's the problem right now. What to do and how to do it. And of course there's another complicating factor, because apart from the power that goes in here, from the manual, it turns out that, and I just noticed that because of the schematics, when you use USB power in, this one, the V in for 5 volts, automatically converts itself to, or itself, the controller of course, to V out. So this is not 5 volts in, it is now 5 volts out to the LCD. And this is ground, not out, but ground in for the LCD. So either I use this nice LCD right here, or I construct some different power input, get rid of this cable, put some FTDI power in, or data construction in, serial cable, and then I can use Wi-Fi. And looking at the schematics, this is ground, yes, so I could basically connect this one here, no problem. But there's only 5 volts in. Oh, here's another one that's not connected yet, so that's no problem. Connect this one here and I have no problem with that. Let's see, to LCD. Oh, this is not connected, wait. Ground to this one, to LCD, yeah, my mistake. This is from LCD connected to this ground. So these have nothing to do with the power. This one has. This one is the bottleneck. How to solve it? I can't. And that's the problem. So if I want to use Wi-Fi without the brown out error, I have to get rid of the LCD. Ouch. And then by accident the LCD problem is solved. The point is that this wire used to be the power for the LCD, which was just loose. So why was that loose when this black one is the ground, red one is the power? Well, here this white line is connected as voltage output to the breadboard, and it was in the breadboard with this very small pin as a remains of this, so it's broken off. So as a result, well, there's nothing wrong with the LCD, just with the cable, and I can just use, well, this one is broken off as well, but I still can use this one when I connect this one instead. But that's the end of LCD use for now. Remains creating a connection with 5 volts somewhere here, which is still a challenge, given the fact that this breadboard is not a very stable one, let alone these two, which are only connected with 2 staples, 4 staples actually. And yes, these gave plus and minus, with all these wires giving it through, but it's not really something where you connect a nice 5 volts power adapter to, and that worries me, because if that fails, everything fails, and I don't like that one. Okay, so now I have a 10 microfarad capacitor, actually an electrolytic capacitor, because it has a plus and a minus, but anyway, 10 microfarad. I have constructed a power connector, plus minus, and they could go in here somewhere. I have disconnected the LCD. I have an AC to DC adapter, and this is working nicely if connected to the board. That means also disconnecting this one. That means also having a USB to UART connector. UART stands for Universal Asynchronous Receive Transmit, which has to be somewhere here. However, I don't have one yet. So in order to make a stable 5 volts connection or power to the board and have a UART connection, not yet. So despite all the preparations, I can't do it yet, and whenever I can, it's locked down now due to coronavirus. It may take a while, but then I'm going to try it again. So what next? Nothing, because all the other options like Ethernet and all the other options that it has to wait until that, unfortunately. So with this program, can I show? Of course I can, because it's still USB now. Let's go. And we'll show in here. And with the Wi-Fi disconnected or disabled actually, it should do nice. And there you go. So yes, it still works. And I'm afraid it will have to do for now. So with new power connector, capacitor, power supply, disconnect LCD, and a tool to peel out this short wire which broke off from this cable, I said thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment or suggestion, always appreciated. You can also follow me via Instagram and Twitter. Please show your support by making a donation via either PayPal or IBAN, or become a patron. More information on my website, which you can find under this video or in the final segment. This is obviously going to be continued. With thanks to my patron, which you can find on my website. Have a nice day, take care, stay safe. Bye.